What's up? It's P here again. Here are 5 more concepts that I wish I learned sooner in Counter-Strike. So for the first concept is to avoid crouching on every engagement. I myself was a victim to this because I relied on the crouching mechanic so much during engagements. Holding an angle, I would use crouch for a tighter spray pattern. Is the spray too difficult? I would crouch to pull down the spray. Those seem like good ideas, right? But the problem with crouching a lot in engagements is that I became a slow target that cannot be positioned. It almost guarantees a trade frag because I committed to crouch spraying at multiple enemies. Crouching in engagements has benefits if you execute them correctly. Just don't overuse it because it makes you such an easy target to hit. Moving on to a more macro concept, on the CT side, one shouldn't be afraid to go for information plays every now and then. It's not a good idea to turtle up on the same spots every round because this is so predictable for the enemies. For example, as a long A player on Dust 2, you can afford to push the long doors for information if the enemies are leaning towards mid or mid to B. This is of course a gamble, but if you don't spot anyone outside long, your team benefits because they can now try to read where the hit is going and stack accordingly. Also, you can go for flanks assuming no one checks their behind. This is also applicable on other maps, and you can do stuff like smoking deep ramp or kitchen on Mirage or aggressing apartments on Inferno, to name a few things. Having these aggressive plays in your pocket helps your playstyle become more unpredictable instead of being that static turret that holds the same spots every round. So for the third concept, which is also a macro concept, is that you can sort of predict or gamble what strategy the enemies are going to run based on the results of the past few rounds. For example, if the opponents are finding success on doing one shot for multiple rounds, let's say executing A, then you can expect that they're gonna keep doing that until they are punished. And this is where adapting comes in. You can start stacking that site or pushing for information in other areas because you can sort of gauge that they're gonna do that shot again because it was successful before. Another scenario, if your hold simply shuts down one of their attacks, chances are they are reluctant to run that same shot again for the next few runs. So for the next concept, which is a more general concept, is that there really isn't a shortcut to get at X or Y rank or to be good at the game. You see people asking the pros all the time, yo, how do you become this good? How do you do this? How do you get past this rank? But the thing is, there's no hidden pro setting that will magically make you play like the pros. There's no point in copying their pro config, sensitivity, resolution, whatever. In an ideal setting, with the proper peripherals, setup, and connection, you would still have to put in time for practicing and playing matches to improve. And by time, I mean lots of it. While practicing more efficiently helps you improve faster, there generally isn't a shortcut in mastering something. It will just come through time and effort. Last would be smarter utility usage. Some people throw their utility mindlessly because they don't want to die with grenades or they don't know how to efficiently use them. While using your utility before dying is a good idea, smart usage is better than just chucking your grenades randomly without thought. It's also preferable to have a plan on where and what you are going to use your grenades for. You can use your grenades to turn them around into your favor, and if you're just buying them and you don't have a plan with them, then you're just wasting money. A good reference for smart utility usage would be Mahone's breakdowns on different spots. He shows the typical protocols that pro players run and how they react using their utility. He explains their utility usage clearly and comprehensively, so I suggest you check his videos out. Determine the spots that you play on different maps, and he probably has a specific breakdown video of it. On the topic of utility usage, players don't have to learn and memorize complex grenade lineups to get better. Just remember the essential smokes and also understand the value of different grenades. I think utility usage itself is such a broad topic that I can cover in a future video. And what I explained here is pretty much simplified. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm head out.